I went through like a real hardcore goth punk phase in middle school. And it was so weird that they didn't accept it. Like, they were like, why are you dressing like this? I'm like, where do you think I got the ideas from, Mom, Dad? All right? Mom, you can't marathon Charmed and then be surprised that I want to be a witch.
But all right, Sam, go ahead. Intro the show.
All right, fine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Everybody Gets One. We're here today with CC, Alex, and Captain America over there, Rio. And we have
I'm representing X-Men.
Okay, Professor X. We have our special guest, Cree Michelle Rogers, Brown Sugar Outlaw, cosplay.
Yay! Hey guys, what up? What's good?
All right, so Miss Rogers.
You being all formal.
Ooh, I know. That was
Not only are you a cosplayer, which I think most people know you for, but you're also, from the last 5 minutes, a graphic designer and video editor and apparently a jack of all trades. Yes. I started off as an actress in middle school, and I thought that was the only way I could get all the weird things in my head out, doing stage plays and after school programs, things like that. And then I found out that there's an entire group of people who like get dressed up as all these characters that I admire. And I'm like, I can do that. So from high school on, it was just like this explosive hobby that has now become this immersive thing for me. Like, I can do everything I want. I can act, make costumes, I can do videos, I can design pictures. It's just this thing that was like, hey, Cree, here you go. You're ADHD. Here's something for that. Okay, so like, what was your first con that you like ever went to?
Ooh, I think it was a con in Atlanta that no longer exists. Like, I swear to you, it doesn't. It was in one of the hotels that Dragon Con is hosted in. And I went with my older sister, and it was I cannot remember the name. I think it was something Fox. And I was such a noob. I could feel it. Everyone was kind of like looking at me because they sensed the noob energy. You know how you can like see it? Like, there's a noob aura. I'm getting excited over every plushie I see. It was where I got my first anime t-shirt. It was an Inuyasha t-shirt, and I wore it. Like, I changed as soon as I bought it and wore it for like a week straight. No lie. That was back in sometime early 2000s. I know that much.
Oh, that sounds like me when I went to my first con at Katsucon. My face was just like the whole time for like 2 hours, just staring at shit.
And then you get tired, and then you're just like, "Whoa, I'm here!" Like, it's the elation, and then you're like,
"Yeah." You just come down off a high.
You just come down, and you're like, "Oh my god."
So let's talk about Cree growing up. You're from Savannah, Georgia, yes?
I'm from Atlanta, and I moved to Savannah to go to Savannah State.
Oh, okay, cool. So talk about that. Like, talk about, like your background a little bit, and kind of like what led you, a little bit of the details that led you up to being the awesome cosplayer that you are today.
My parents are weird, to say the least. My dad's a preacher. My mom is a loyal preacher's wife who loves horror films. And my dad loves Miyazaki films. So growing up, we would watch all these paranormal things. Yeah, right? Yeah. We watch all these weird things, and I went through like a real hardcore goth punk phase in middle school. And it was so weird that they didn't accept it. Like, they were like, why are you dressing like this? I'm like, where do you think I got the ideas from, Mom, Dad? All right? Mom, you can't marathon Charmed and then be surprised that I want to be a witch. Like, you can't.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Can't do that.
I thought I was a warlock for a while.
Facts, though. I didn't even think about that.
Every big birthday, 16 or 12, 21, I was expecting like a magical being to show up and be like, hey, here's your superpowers. Hey, you're secretly this. I still wait. Like, I'm hoping that 30 is that year. You know what I mean? That I become a chosen one. Okay. So growing up with that much imagination stimulus, I jumped into acting because it was something that was readily available. It was easy to do. And there weren't that many Black nerds, or at least open Black nerds, when I was younger and in hot Atlanta, where it was more cool to be crunk than it was to be a nerd. It was a weird existence because I wasn't shy about it. Nothing that my parents instilled in me made me want to be shy about what I liked. So I didn't have that many friends, but I wasn't alienated because I knew how to like turn it on and off. But everyone knew Cree was a geek. So once I hit high school and things started balancing out, you know, you found the Black nerds, you found the mixed nerds, the Indian nerds, Asian nerds, everybody just started becoming a melting pot. We all started cosplaying together, trading video games on the bus, and it just became this part of my life that I never wanted to let go. And I think it was 12th grade when I was like, you know what? You love this stuff. Just because you're graduating high school doesn't mean you have to let it go. You know, you can still love these things going into adulthood. Going into adulthood doesn't mean you have to become this business person in a suit that's serious all the time. No, you can enjoy your video games, your anime. You can still dress up as a Disney princess and wave to little kids in the grocery store. You can do what you want. That's the joy of being an adult. And since then, I've just tried to keep this stuff as close to my heart as possible, because if it could get me through those hard times in high school, middle school, elementary school, it's only going to do wonders for me now.
Thanks.
Oh, she was true to herself.
I'm bad at being anything else. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I was a kind of a closet nerd for a while.
I mean, I think that was the case for a lot of us. You know, we had to code switch. You know, especially in DC. Like DC is so politically correct. You know, you have to, especially when you get on the job and stuff. But anywho, I don't want to like.
I know, it's a whole story for itself, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah. So like, you kind of like led into what your fandoms are a little bit. So what are your fandoms? And like,
Can I be honest? I'll be honest right quick. I hate questions like this because I can't. There's so many. Like there's so many. Like it's like someone saying, "What's your favorite anime?" How dare you ask me that question? That is like the rudest question you could ask an anime fan. Because now I have to pick. And I feel like I am disrespecting this mangaka and I'm being rude to this anime artist because I love both their works. You know what I mean? I love so many things.
I mean, you can always put a list together.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have a list.
This reminds me a lot of Sam.
Sam has a 2-page list. This one over there.
It's not 2-page. It's 3-page.
How many pages?
We're supposed to
take pages.
I feel you. Don't let them let you choose, okay?
Listen, it's 3 pages front and back.
And then we had to scale him down to 20 when it was supposed to be a top 10.
We didn't even have to put the top 10 in order. It was just your 10 favorite.
Because I feel like that number one spot, if you give that number one spot away, that's for life. You know what I mean? It would have to be, it couldn't even be A, B, C, D. I couldn't.
It changes. It changes.
I put
like
bullet points.
throughout the year, it changes. Like every year is a different number one.
Okay. All right. I'm putting you on the spot right now. What's your favorite right now then? If it changes on the spot. There we go. Top 5,
spot.
dead or alive.
I'm watching.
I was talking to you. I was talking to Cree.
Oh, my bad. You say her name then.
I was really hoping he was talking to you though.
No.
Hey,
Putting you on the spot.
I had my list ready. So
see, I told you, Sam always got a list.
All right. So if I had to pick like video games, oh God, I know you guys can see my brain working. Anything in the Tales series, Tales of the Abyss, Tales of Vesperia, any Tales of game. I love JRPGs. They've always been a part of my life. And the Tales series is just rich story, amazing character design, fun gameplay. You can play with multiple people. Like the Tales series, hands down favorite video game series for now, because in an hour that will change. Don't quote me. Anime, it depends. Like it depends on my mood. There's this one that's out now, Glenspire. It's this
Sam,
weird
you know
one.
what it is. Come on.
Do you?
He does.
It's the one with the dog mascot. I just started watching it.
Come on, Sam. What is it?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. You haven't? All right. Lying.
I can like dark, crazy things like that anime, and then I can also like lighthearted things about little Japanese schoolgirls going to school to make cookies. You know what I mean? There's no like specific thing that I like. If the anime has a good story and fun characters, I'm down. I'm not picky at all. I can pick a favorite superhero, comic book superhero. I can do that.
Okay, now you just made Rio happy.
Wait a minute. No. Choose your hero carefully. You might trigger.
Oh,
You might trigger.
Oh, sir, are we about to go? I'm ready. Don't do this to me.
Go ahead. Okay. I want to hear what you gotta say.
My favorite superhero.
Hold on. Before you answer this, pick one from Marvel and pick one from DC.
Oh, you had to do that. You had
I want
to
see
take
what
it
happens. I want to see what happens. I just want to see what's gonna happen.
Okay, that's fair. That's cool. Number one in Marvel is Easy, the Hulk. I love the Hulk.
Okay, that's different. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
I love. He's so. I think he's so cute. Like, okay, in Age of Ultron. No, seriously, in Age of Ultron, when he was rampaging because he got his mind taken over, I was like, that is the best representation of the Hulk we have gotten in modern media. Y'all can fight me on that, okay? Because he was actually scary. He was actually frightening, and he was fast, and he was strong, and they were actually worried. I was like, yo, my boy in the film. That's my boy right there. I was so proud. I was so happy. And then DC. Okay, all right. So that one's hard. That one's a tie because my three are pretty like you could guess these. Okay, the first one, of course, is Wonder Woman because when I first started watching the animated DC films, they did the best job of animating her fight scenes. Like they actually showed her using martial arts.
Cutting people up. She was fucking people up.
Yes. Okay, the New 52 movies are a little weird because they still keep her with the sword and shield, but I'm like, yo, before New 52, she didn't need that. She just had hands, and that's all she needed. And I was down with that. Number two is Vixen.
Okay.
Because I love animals and that kind of power scaling. Yo, the things you could do. Don't give me that totem. Don't do that. Okay.
Okay.
And number three, oh my gosh, what's his name? Etrigan.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Okay. I thought you was about to trigger Rio.
Whoa, what would trigger?
And CC, they don't like Batman. They hate him with a passion.
He doesn't trigger me.
Well, he triggers Rio for sure.
Why Batman?
I just think he's overrated. Yeah, I just think he's overrated.
Okay, she thinks he's overrated. Why do you hate him so much, Rio?
Do you want this episode to carry on, or do you want to just take this episode right off? I
just like fucking with Rio.
We're just gonna drive this episode right off a bridge,
right over a cliff.
Yeah,
I just like fucking with
Aim
Rio.
for the bushes. So, Cree, also, I wanted to touch on the fact that you did attend an HBCU fam. So, what was that experience like for you as a Black nerd? How did it affirm your experience? How did it affirm your identity as a nerd or not? Like, what was that like?
Going to an HBCU was weird because Atlanta's like the second biggest Black populated city. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you were to really think about it, it'd be DC and it'd be Atlanta, like going toe to toe for how many Black people we can have per capita, you know? Mm-hmm. And I went to a predominantly Black elementary school and middle school, and then my parents switched it up on me and sent me to a majority white high school. And that was a culture shock because it was like, I thought I was white, you know? Because when you were in the early 2000s, still now, if you speak a certain way, if you like things that are outside the Black box, your typecast is white. Like, oh yeah, you're so white, you're such an Oreo, right? So
I heard that word a lot in elementary school.
It's not fun. Nope. It's not fun. So when I went to a white high school, I realized just how Black I was. And that felt good. You know, it felt good to know that I wasn't that. Whatever white is, I could never be, no matter how much I tried, okay? I would have to literally like denounce everything about me to become that.
And then
I went from that to an HBCU.
Right. Right. And it's like, even then you can denounce your identity, but it's not going to change how the world looks at you, you know?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing gonna change that.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
going to an HBCU was nice because after 4 years of majority white and then every once in a while getting like, you know, your black group of friends together, it was like, okay, oh my gosh, I can relax. I feel like there was this weight off my shoulders when I did go to an HBCU. And what's funny is that I never said the word nigga as much as I did until I went to an HBCU.
My
Because I
favorite
realized
word.
There was freedom. I felt it. I felt the freedom. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to worry about y'all. I don't have to be careful around y'all. I'm comfortable. Man, nigga was good. You know, like it felt nice.
It feels
and
amazing.
comfortable.
Nigga.
It's just,
It rolls off the tongue.
it really does. You know, people underestimate
In a positive way. Not for you.
Yeah.
Not for you people. You know who you are.
Funny. Well, it's not only that, but just being, like you said, being in that environment is like, you know, a totally different experience in of itself. And you get comfortable in that culture, you know. So, I mean, of course, it affects everybody differently. Everybody's personality is different. Some people pledge, some people do this, you know. But that's the beauty of it, is that it's a whole community with different personalities in of itself.
And the great thing about it is that by the time everyone's in college, there's a certain amount of acceptance that wasn't there in elementary and middle school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain amount of maturity that comes in. So if you're a black nerd in an HBCU, no one's really looking at you like, oh, what? That stuff's for white people. No, it's an understood concept. Right. Now, you still get some sort of ridicule. I'm not going to lie. There's still some sort of stigma, but that's another conversation for another day. But it's nowhere near as bad and ignorantly driven as it was in elementary school and middle school. In college, it was like, oh, Cree likes that stuff? Okay, word. Yeah. It was very nice.
Okay, now I got to make sure I'm following you on my personal page. We both love the word nigga. There we go.
And even then, I feel like the climate's changed so much, like anime and all, like not even just in the HBCU community, but in the black community in general, anime and like comics, all these various things are so much more mainstream than they used to be and so much more popular than it used to be. It's really crazy to kind of witness.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, my dad watches anime and I didn't know how much. Like since I left the house, he's increased his anime intake. And it's weird for me because it's like, where'd this come from? So I come home and he's watching One Punch Man. And I'm like, Papa, how'd you know about, since when did you? And now my mom's asking me questions about anime because that's all he's watching now. And I'm like, there was this when I was younger. I could have used this kind of atmosphere, you know, when I was younger.
Exactly.
But I'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers.
Show him Baki.
Right.
Oh, but he's already watched it. He's already watched it.
Are you serious?
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all are now where I am.
But you're like the one in retrospect, you're like the one who gave them that affirmation. It's like, you don't have to just keep this in your living room and, you know, be a secret. Because that's, you know, like when me and Sam were on the yard at Bowie, it was like you indulged in these things, but you didn't like showcase it. Like you weren't rocking t-shirts that had Inuyasha on it or any of that. Like you had there was one room in our dorm and you knocked.
Yeah, there was that one specific dorm that everybody went to.
Right.
Yes.
And then, right. And you go in there and there's Dance Dance Revolution and all this other, you know, nerd shit. But now it's like everywhere. It's everywhere.
I can't see Sam dancing.
Nah, Sam was.
I can't.
Well, you know what? I could.
He's doing a robot.
I could see Sam dancing.
Oh my God.
Dancing. But yeah, it's just crazy though. It's like a, you know, I understand that some people are like, you're a casual nerd or whatever. But it's like, that's the whole thing, is like, it's going to come with people who are new to this and who have maybe always wanted to indulge in this, but were afraid to because of the stigma. So I think it's a beautiful thing, man.
The best thing that I can say, because every once in a while I might feel it, you know, because when you're picked on for liking this stuff and suddenly it's cool, you do feel that sting, you know what I mean? Because there's a battle that you had to go through that people now don't have to go through. You do feel a sting. Am I happy about that? I am very happy that people don't have to go through what I had to go through. Oh my God.
You went through that, so they didn't have to go through that. Just like Jay-Z said.
Exactly.
It was tough. It was
And
tough,
the
like
best
liking
thing-
all this stuff, man. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. The best thing that comes out of so many people making it mainstream is that it's now easier to get. I don't know if y'all remember all the weird YouTube videos and
Bootlegging. Yep.
bootlegs you had to do to watch something that wasn't even a good show, you know,
Yep.
like,
Yep. I still got some
Now?
bootleg stuff on a hard drive right now.
oh my gosh, the struggle is no more. And that's great. Please, more people, please indulge so I can get more anime subtitled every week. All right. Make
If you
my
need a
life.
stash, SF Design is your man right here. This our bootleg
Nice.
connoisseur. Anything you need, bootleg. What you need?
I got you.
Okay. You didn't say nothing but a word.
We definitely got to connect. Cree is just you're an all-around amazing person, and one of the things that I love about you is that you're a very collaborative person. You work a lot with groups of other cosplayers. She's incorporated me, in like Halloween stuff, and that was kind of how we became real cool. So I just wanted to commend you for that, and then just kind of give you an opportunity to elaborate a little bit more on that. And what are some ongoing projects or maybe some things in the near future that you're going to be taking on?
When I first started this whole cosplay, Instagram, social media journey, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But luckily, I started with the team, the Usual Rangers 5. That's who I started my journey with. And, we did the Power Rangers. We did Marvel Black Heroes. We did Black Panther crew. We have like a huge list of other things we're trying to do. And I've always been one to like the collaboration of creating things. I mean, I took that from theater. You can't make anything alone. And when I realized that that's what was really missing from cosplay, like people being able to just work together, I was like, okay, so let's see how many different ways we can do this. And it just started becoming a thing. I would, and it actually helps me because I'm very like social media shy, I guess. You could say. If you put me in front of people, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's good? Dap you up, cool. But on social media, I'm like, there's a screen. It's not personal. I don't feel like I'm connecting with you. I had to get over that. And doing these collaborations helps me meet different cosplayers from different parts of the world. Like this Friday, I'm releasing a video. I don't want to spoil it, but it is in response to Black Lives Matter, and we are working with cosplayers from literally around the world.
Nice.
One cosplayer is from France, and you could hear it all up in her accent. It's so beautiful.
Oh.
And that's not the only time. I've worked with people in Brazil, worked with people in Ireland, and it exposes you to how other people think and how other people cosplay and how other people just breathe in this culture. And it's very connecting. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I love doing it. And it teaches me about different time zones and how much I really don't sleep. Because if I can respond to someone who's 6 hours ahead of me and it's like 12 here, like, Cree, go to sleep. Like, take a nap, something, I have a lot of projects coming up working with different cosplayers. And I try to at least have 2 a month. That way I expose different people to different artists. Because on social media, you can get really bogged down through the numbers. You can see, someone has 20,000 followers, someone has 50,000 followers, and you get blinded by that. And you don't take the time to see that there are cosplayers down here who have like 1,200 followers who are really talented. But that's not what social media focuses on. And if there's anything I can do with my platform that I can build or create, it's that I want to give these people who don't have that much attention but have the talent a platform to show that talent. And if I could keep doing that, I'm gonna keep doing that as much as I can. I mean, come on. I've met too many awesome cosplayers with 200 followers that need the boost.
Rio's
That's
one
awesome.
of them.
One of what?
You a cosplayer too? What you talking about?
No.
You ain't show off your Spider-Man shoot that Sam did?
No,
Yeah. You got to put that out in the world.
No,
for the
no,
ladies.
no, no, no.
No, dude.
Not today.
Not today.
We're gonna get Rio out there in the world one day.
So I've got a question
One
for
day.
you. I got a
Yeah.
question for you. What would you say is one of the most important highlights during your career? Like something that really was like impactful for you, where either somebody influenced you or you had the opportunity to influence somebody else. You know, something in that realm.
Oh, there are so many. There actually are a lot because I take everything personally. Honestly, I do. I don't want to take any compliment or any experience for granted because it could easily go away. You know what I mean? I want everyone to know that whatever impact they have on me, it's there and genuine. If I had to pick one that was like, oh, there are two. Oh my gosh, there are two. But the one I will say is back when Black Panther was, you know, the big to do, and my team, the Usual Rangers 5, we were getting ready for, what was it? I think it was not Endgame, Infinity War. We were getting ready for Infinity War. And we found out that Nakia was not in the roster, so I couldn't wear my Nakia costume to the premiere because it's like, she's not in the movie, that'd be a little weird. So I ended up working on my Okoye cosplay, and that thing, mini rant, sorry, this will pad the runtime, but I gotta say this. Okay,
we do this all the time.
Black Panther design team, like, they were rude when they were designing these costumes, okay? They put in details that you would not see unless you were literally in front of the costume. When I say that, I mean Nakia's river costume when they're like going to the Warrior Falls. Her belt, you see a belt, you see woven tapestry. Okay, cool, fine. No, there are little golden snail shells, spray painted gold put into her belt. Little things like that they put in. And you as a cosplayer, or me, who likes to pay attention to detail, seeing things like that is I have to replicate it. Okay, so now that you have an idea of how close attention I was paying to Okoye's costume when I was creating it, I mean, I wanted it to be spot on. So paying attention to the beading pattern, the design of the shirt, even her head tattoo when I put on the bald cap. I was like, make sure you take it all in. It was, at the time, the most difficult costume I had put together because it was just so intricate. Like, there were just so many parts to it. And I'll admit it, there is blood, sweat, and a lot of tears in that costume. People say that as a phrase, but no, I literally sat over my bodice thing and I was crying because I was like, why aren't you working? You know, it was frustrating. So I debuted it, made it, we were good. And then about a week or so after that premiere, I got a message from one of the design team members of the Black Panther.
What?
Asked, hey, Ruth Carter is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, and it would be awesome if you could come in your Okoye costume to like escort her around San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
I remember that.
Y'all. You know how you do your research, right? Like, you don't just say yes to anybody because anybody could be anybody. Oh my gosh, I researched this guy. I went on his page. I went on 5 pages that were synced to his page. I was like, this can't be real. Like, this can't be real. This is impossible. Lo and behold, it was. And we raised up the money in about a week or so. Even the design team contributed to the GoFundMe to allow us to go across the country to meet Ruth Carter, Philip Boutte, just everybody who sat there and put their hands into this project. We were able to meet and talk with. And one of the guys, Anthony, he is like so wonderful. After the con was over, he was like, hey, are you guys leaving soon? We were like, we technically have to drive back to Savannah, 32-hour drive. But what you talking about? What you want to do? He was like, I want to invite you guys to Marvel Studios to get like a mini tour so you guys can like get a little bit something else out of this trip.
Man. Hold up. Stop this.
Man.
You went to Disney Plus High Command?
Oh my God. He's such a tool for Disney Plus. I forgot.
But she ain't wrong, man. Like, yes.
Yeah.
It was freaking nuts. It made no sense to actually see Disney Studios. You know, I've been to Disney World, but it is nothing in comparison to Disney Studios. You know, like,
I'm officially changing your name to Saint Cree. You are now in the House of Disney.
Yes.
You are now Saint Cree.
The one thing, it's so funny, the one thing that really tripped me out, that made it all real, I am a huge nerd for Thor. Okay, I love Thor. He's not one of my top 5, but I do love Thor because of his cape. He has the most fabulous cape, especially when they over-exaggerate it and it goes up and down and it flows. He has the best cape ever. All right, I'm sorry, in the Marvel Universe, best cape. Fight me.
He's a god, you know, one of the saints of Disney Plus, so he's allowed to. Yeah.
So we were walking around, and in some they have costumes from the movies in the display cases, and one of them was Thor's.
Nerdgasm.
I damn near fainted. I almost fainted. I was like, "It's the cape." Like, that's the cape with the hammer. Like, they had it all smooth and with his chest plate, and then the hammer was on it, and it was all. I was like,
the shroud of Lord Thor.
And you know what sucks? I couldn't take a picture.
Oh, come on.
They wouldn't let me. They were like, no, you're technically not supposed to be here. This is just a fun little freebie.
Oh, okay. All right. They ain't trying to get fired.
Yeah.
Understandable. Understandable. Right. I'm not getting fired. No.
Like, they also had a whole bunch of comics laid out for things that are in future projects, but they were in boxes, so I couldn't see anything.
Oh, shit.
I was like, hey, I was trying to get my team to make a distraction so I could, like, peek in, you know, do it like Mission Impossible style. But
you know how close you were.
Then an alarm
Phase
goes off.
4.
Right?
You like lift the box and an alarm starts going off. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
A net pops out of vibranium net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Down.
See Mickey Mouse pop out the box. Oh, put that down.
Bitch, your thoughts.
Wow.
But that was one of those moments that opened my eyes to the possibilities of cosplay, because a lot of people, you know, it is fun. Don't get it twisted, okay? We got into it because it was fun. But there's also a part of everybody, I believe, that wants to make something that they have fun at their career. It'd be nice if you could wake up and do something that you love and get paid for it, because it's not a job anymore. It is your lifeblood. It's your career. It's what you want to do. And being invited out there, meeting these people, making new connections, opened my eyes to the fact that I can try taking cosplay a little more seriously. I can actually try to build something from this to where I can get paid to dress up every day. That is my eventual goal.
Hey man, you might be a costume designer on one of these next Marvel movies. You never know. The amount of detail you put in. Hey, the amount of detail you put in for them to hit you up and say, hey, come here and see us, that means something. That means a lot. You don't understand. Like, that means like,
yeah,
outside of my frame box here somewhere.
Yeah, you're on the radar.
Yeah, you're already on their radar immediately. Just in case they say, hey, we need somebody to test this out or make a replica. Hey, you know that girl Cree, Saint Cree from Disney Plus? Yeah, call her up.
Same girl from Disney.
Yeah, Saint Cree. Call up one of the saints. Call you.
I
call
hope
Thor
that
up.
answered the question though, because I feel like I went off on a few pages.
That was actually perfect, because my follow-up question to that was actually going to be, would you want to meet or collaborate with one of the designers for the Black Panther movie? And then you led right into it without me having to say anything. So I was like, wow, okay.
She's chosen by Lord Disney.
Lord don't
Disney.
listen. Okay. There are a few things I praise to the Lord not to do, because it'll be dangerous, man. It'll be dangerous. Hey, don't give me money, Lord. You give me $1 million, it won't be $1 million at the end of the day. It'll be quadrupled. Okay. I got plans, got thoughts that need to come to life. Like, don't. If Disney knocks on my door, if at 30, that's my chosen one moment, ooh, y'all.
All right, just make sure you hit me up so I could put my Disney shroud on and follow around with my Disney candlesticks and just go.
Yay!
But yeah, so you're also, well, we've already went through this, but you're also a streamer and an avid gamer. So
yeah, I had to put Twitch on the side burner for a while, but I am definitely an avid gamer. All right.
I tell the story all the time to get people to fully understand what I mean by being a gamer. There was this random game, Monachemia, that I played 9th, 10th grade. And I asked my mom for it for Christmas. She got it for me. I was like, word, thank you. And that was during my Team Rebellious phase too. So when I got it, I was like, thanks, Mom. Hides in the room. And I promise you, 3 days went by and I did nothing but play that game. I kid y'all not. If you thinking, oh, did she use the restroom? No, bladder was on shutdown. There was nothing else but that game, man. I was engrossed in it. And when I came out, I was like, huh, okay, that's got to be part of your life from now on. Like you can't do a 3-day marathon with a game and then be like, okay, games later. No, okay, you have that rite of passage has been taken and you are now officially a gamer. Since then, it's just been JRPGs, the occasional action RPG. I suck at shooters. All right, it's like the worst thing about me as a person is me on a shooter. Like it's terrible.
Shooter King right here, Rio Griffin.
Oh, good. Please take that burden off of me. I like my strategy. I like my character development. I like all that stuff. You know, I like being engrossed into a story. Shooters can't do it. I cannot aim to save my life, literally.
Yeah.
So I know you, because you're a gamer, I know you saw that PlayStation event, right? So you know I got you got a little excited there. You got a little excited. So I gotta ask you, and I gotta ask Cece, what did y'all think of this year's event?
You go first.
Oh no.
Oh, she's trying to save up. She's trying to save up her ammo. Yeah. She loading shots. She loading shots.
I think it's just, I'm still like, quite frankly, taking it in because I'm just looking back at how far gaming has come, and it's just wild to me. The level of like crispness that the picture is just crazy to me. And I'm just like, the fact that it's a video game, like I have to keep reminding myself, this is a video game. This is a video game console. These are video game trailers I'm watching right now. And it's just wild to me. And I'm just really, really excited. Quite frankly, I don't know if I'm going to invest in the first generation just because I'm always wary about first generation technology. There's always something wrong with it. But I'm just so excited. I can't even put into words right now how excited I am about this system. And I really think that it's going to, I've kind of fallen in love with gaming again because my cousin gave me a PS4 recently. Shout out to him. But I'm just like, yo, I'm about to be on this joint all the time, all day, every day. And I'm just geeked. So
she's ready.
I'm ready.
I agree. There's so much. It's so pretty. It's so sleek. I love it. Oh my God. Like, guys. Okay. So I'm going to say what I think everybody who's a Sony, like if you have my PlayStation.
Rio, you got a Sony fanboy right down there.
All right. Oh, Rio.
Yeah.
Boy, we about to be best friends after this whole thing's over. You and me. We about to be like, okay, so anyone who's a Sony fanboy, fangirl, we didn't need this trailer. Y'all didn't have to do all this. This was extra. We didn't need all this. Y'all could have you could have dropped it like Beyonce's Lemonade album, okay? You could have literally just said PlayStation 5 is outside at your nearest Target, Walmart, GameStop. You can go get it. It would
actually would be tight if a console maker would just do that. Just put that shit in the stores and see what happens.
We wouldn't have cared. We would have got it. We would have done it.
Yeah.
Why? Because we love this. We love this stuff, okay? And I'm so happy that now, like, okay, so I think PlayStation 3 kind of had a problem with it. It was either 3 or 4. Where they
don't tell Rio that. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that.
I do.
There's no problem in the house of Sony when it comes to Rio. Rio is he's the Sony saint or the Sony shell. There are no problems in the house of Sony.
Now hear me out. It's not a full blown problem. It's just I don't think they had as many launch titles as they should have. Like when it first came out, they were lacking in launch titles. And both Nintendo and Sony learned, hey, no more of that. No more of that. Because when the Switch was like, yo, the Switch is coming out, here's like 5 million games. Like, they made sure. Sony did the exact same thing with this trailer. That, once again, was extra because we was going to buy that anyway. All right? If I have to be honest, guys, okay, y'all gonna laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. You're not allowed to laugh. All right, don't laugh at me. The game I actually got hype over was the Little Big Planet one.
Oh, Sackboy?
Sackboy? Yeah, they brought Sackboy back.
I was like, what? Yo, so many people forgot about this series and y'all bringing this back?
See, the thing is, Sackboy was he was like the PS3 mascot almost.
Yes.
And then when he came to PS Vita, he was like the mascot pretty much. Like, and the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I love platformers, and then that was the first game that let you build a platformer. So I was a nerd for it just because. Did I play it that often? No, but I had to have it because
principle.
I just have to have it. So I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably buy it, even though I'm thinking like, oh, this ain't nothing. I'm gonna buy the fucking game. I'm a liar.
I'm gonna buy it. All right, Ratchet and Clank looks good. God dang, there were so many games, and there's so many different genres of games. To be honest, like there was this one, it was a dinosaur one.
Oh, hold on. Was that?
Oh yeah.
No, they didn't show that there.
The high school one.
The dinosaur one is the one with the girl with the red hair, right?
Yeah.
With the bow and arrow.
Oh, you talking about
Horizon?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
No, that one. Horizon Zero Dawn. I know that one. Well, Horizon. But there was one random one. It was a Life is Strange except with dinosaurs. I was like, what is this? Exactly.
I must have been high as shit.
If y'all don't remember,
I did not see that.
No, we both watched the same thing.
I know, we was watching it.
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I must have been on one.
Okay? That was one of those games that's like, Sony, y'all shouldn't have, what are you showing this one off for? This one shouldn't have been in the lineup. No one's going to remember this. I saw it and I thought, what?
Yeah,
what
I
is
didn't
this?
remember it. Rio, do you remember it? I know you did.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, I remember I only caught like the last 20 minutes.
Dude, you work for Sony. How didn't you get the press briefing?
I'm so glad I didn't drink my water.
I don't understand. So let me tell you something about Rio real quick, right? So he hates my preferences, right?
Oh my god.
Because I play with this and I play with this too. So he thinks I'm a blasphemer. I don't. Yeah.
You know
What's the problem?
I know. We just don't really like the Xbox. What you want?
What's the problem with having both?
Why is no? Let's talk about that, okay?
What's the problem with the people who like both?
There's nothing wrong with liking both, I guess. I mean, if you
he spit on my Xbox.
Wow.
He came to my house in spirit and just went,
oh,
truly.
Oh, please. He's making up stories.
He texted me and was like, you know what? I spit on your Xbox. And then he just sent me the text. And then he blocked me.
Not true.
No, you sure? You sure? Because
see, she knows.
I wouldn't exactly blame you.
See, committing hate crimes against my Xbox.
I knew you were about to say something about the new Xbox design, though. I think that's where you were getting ready to go to, right?
It's not a design; it's an Xbox.
It's literally
a box with an X on it.
It is.
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to be.
I don't think I've ever seen something so literal in my life.
Yeah, the first one was very literal. Remember when the original Xbox came out? It was, well, it's technically a rectangle, but it was a box VCR with an X on it. See, and then that one back there. Well, no, damn it, you can't see it. But that little light, that's an X, and that long ass piece of shit is a box. That's what it is.
I think Xbox really set themselves up for a lot of jokes with that design. Okay, like they really put themselves. That was a bad design choice. I mean, it takes up so much space. It's a giant paperweight. All right, it's huge. It's clunky. It's not aesthetically pleasing. They could have done better. Like if there was ever a time for you to be like, all right, y'all, Xbox has been the butt of a lot of jokes. You know, our controller's fat and still uses batteries. We gotta crank it out. We gotta make something fancy.
Am I frozen?
New.
You are frozen.
You
God
are frozen.
damn. I don't exist. Oh, there I am. I'm coming back.
No, it's Fuji webcam.
No, I'm coming back.
Looks like
Sponsored by Fuji Webcam.
Oh
Yeah.
I think I'm coming back.
why has it got that big X there?
Cause it's an X with a box on it.
No.
It looks like
What?
the screensaver.
Two.
Why y'all keep hating on X's?
I'm just saying, it's not the most creative letter.
I mean, since we're
There's an
talking
X
about
in my
memes,
name.
Since we're talking about memes, what were some of the best PS5 memes you've seen?
Oh, I shared one where it was like the PS. I think Cece, you just saw it. It was like the PlayStation 5 was carrying the Xbox, and it was like African dancing funeral procession guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's carrying the Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that. I need
there
that
was
one.
that. I
returned.
just shared a group of them. Oh my gosh.
There was one with Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
Kaiba.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a funny one.
Yo. But it still does not, like, they still don't have, no one can be as mean to the PlayStation 5 as you can be to the Xbox. Like, the mean comparison there's no comparison.
One looks like a PC tower. One looks like a PC tower. The other one looks like a computer router. They belong together.
Yep.
It does look like I thought so too. I was like, it looks like
That's why I'm getting both. They belong together.
I mean, you do you, man. Apparently you balling. I gotta give my tip my
I'm
hat
not
off.
balling. I'm poor. I've
It's
been telling
like
these people I've been
2000.
poor for 30 years.
It's funny that y'all mentioned the Sackman saga because I was watching the trailer online with Tranquil Ashes the other day, and she was like, I feel like this game is just for you. You should play this game. And she's like, I say this as a beginning gamer, someone who, because we're both like kind of coming out of retirement. So is that something that you would recommend for us amateur
Oh my gosh.
gamers?
And Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, both. Like platformers, if anybody's getting back into video games, they're like, I don't know what to do. Platformers are like the best way to jump into it because it's not as high pressure, but you feel the urge to complete and do, and you actually feel satisfied when you do complete. Like platformers, just go for a platformer. Or if there's a character that you like, go on ahead. Like when I got my PlayStation, what was it? 3, I want to say. I think it was a 3. I immediately got Bayonetta. Immediately. Because I love the character. And I was like, hell yeah. Like, if there's anything I'm buying on this PlayStation platform, it is Bayonetta. Like, find a character you like or do a platformer. You'll get your feet wet and get hooked, and you'll never leave your house again.
Okay, I got to ask you real quick question. For everybody, actually, which version of the PS5 are we getting?
You already know which one I'm getting, so.
Which one you getting? Black and red?
Nah. We talking about the slim or the or the one with the booty on it?
The one with the booty on it? The one with the booty on it comes with more.
Yeah, it has the disc. It has the disc drive on it.
I'm getting the
There's
disc
two
drive.
versions. There's a digital version, which looks sexier in my opinion, because it don't got that little booty. It don't look right hanging off the side. It just don't look right.
It's the booty, man.
I like the boot, but I like the.
I
don't like the. Like it's this. Okay, I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm about to say something crazy. All right. Let me stop myself.
It doesn't look
Be
right.
careful.
No, I'm trying. See, I was gonna go there, but I meant it in. Nah. I ain't
Might as well
gonna
just
do that to
stop.
myself.
Just stop.
I'm gonna just stop. I'm not gonna get myself in trouble again.
I'm still an old school gamer. I still love having my game. Like, sure, there are some times where it's like, okay, GameStop's tripping. I'm not spending that much on a game that's like literally half that price on PlayStation Network. You know, I sometimes switch depending, but like for my birthday, I always get a video game and I always hold the cartridge and I always like have it. You know, that's a thing for me. I don't think that'll ever go away until like, you know, we start digitizing everything. Until then, I'm always gonna get the booty. I'm always going for the booty.
Okay, going for the booty.
I'm the same. I don't trust the cloud. I need a shirt that says that.
Nigga, it's not in the cloud, motherfucker.
I don't trust the cloud.
It's on your hard drive. And if you buy the disc, it's going to take up the space anyway. It has to install.
Yeah, but okay, picture this. The game comes out. You're ready to go home and download it. It thunderstorms, knocks the power out in your house. I've got my disc that I just picked up from Walmart. You have nothing.
Dude, you still
you can't
still
play.
Have download updates.
You still have to. You do know that
downloading it from the disc.
No,
it's not the updates.
You have to go online to download updates and extra content.
You don't necessarily have to update it as soon as you get the game.
Yes, you do for Call of Duty.
Some of you
know that.
At all.
You know that. Most games. Call of Duty is 180 gigabytes. I am pissed off.
Well, that's another reason why I don't like shooters. God dog.
That was the first one to do it, though. That was the first one to do it.
That's ridiculous.
This shit right here is some new shit. 180 gigabytes.
Yes.
There ain't no reason. Unless that thing can tell me my future, there ain't no reason to have that much space.
Yeah, we ain't getting no Activision sponsorship. I'm sorry.
And they wanna give you a 500 gigabyte hard drive.
Oh well, I got a terabyte.
Oh my god.
Even a terabyte is barely enough these days, though.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, he put 2 terabytes in his PlayStation. I got a 500 gigabyte.
I've got 3 terabytes.
Yeah. Are we going to debate over who got the most terabytes right now?
Right? I'm sitting here like,
y'all two over here fighting over. I got 2 terabytes. I got 3.
Hey, but that's just like those Xbox people, and they're talking about GPU.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's weird.
See, here's the thing. Here's what I realized. PlayStation, it's for the exclusives. That's what you play PlayStation for. I noticed that a lot of more Xbox people, the more I talk to them, they just care about playing online. That's what it's for. And then when I was telling Rio, I noticed that with myself, I play only online games on my Xbox. Like literally, I play online. When I don't want to be bothered by anybody, when I want to get like a good story in, I put on my PlayStation. And I just like absorb into whatever game I'm playing. That's what I do. Yeah. So, especially it's just for different people. Like even when I have some story-driven games on my Xbox, but I haven't really touched them because I already know as soon as I turn it on and I just try to have my own little fun, someone's gonna say, "Hey, let's go play Call of Duty." I'm like, "Nah, not right now." And then I'm gonna get bloop 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 a million goddamn invites. I had to turn this thing off just to show the little ego podcast thing. I had to turn off that I'm offline right now. So sorry, y'all. Yeah, I know they're gonna hate me when they see that shit come out. I told them I was getting on, and I forgot we had a podcast to do. But anyway.
But definitely PlayStation, especially for people who like JRPGs, because you're going to get access to those.
Exactly.
Because PlayStation is coming from the land of JRPG.
Yes. All right. Respect your ancestors. We were here first.
OMG.
Is there a particular like PS5 game that what are your thoughts about like Spider-Man? Since everyone was talking about that, was like the second video they showed.
Like I have so many thoughts. Always so many thoughts. I'm super excited because when he showed up in Sony's Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man, I was like, okay, cool. I like how they're crossing this. I like how they're mixing this. And then they took it a step farther and gave the man his own game. I was like, y'all know what you're motherfucking doing. All right, y'all so goddamn smart, because I sit here and I watch Miles Morales. I watch him develop from like where he was in the comics when he first came out. He didn't really have that much of a personality. He was pretty one-dimensional. And then they developed him into this person. And then Into Spider-Verse came out. And he had this whole full-rounded character. He was his own Spider-Man. He wasn't Peter Parker. He wasn't a clone just in another universe. He was his own character. And to the point where now he has his own video game. You know what I had to think about? I had to think about how DC is messing up. All right? DC is messing up because you know who would be their equivalent? Static Shock.
Well, yeah,
imagine if they were to give Static
Morales?
Shock. Yeah, imagine if they were to give Static Shock the same kind of like development and attention that Miles is getting.
Yeah, he does have a cool power set because he can fly. Of course, every black person got electricity.
Like every single in DC, that's their only power set. Okay.
99% of them, Sam.
Seriously.
Okay.
I know 99% of them have them, but almost
they have electrical powers.
As electric. Yeah, you can't see.
I have electrical powers
without having electricity.
God damn it.
It's like apparently all black people in DC are electric type Pokemon. Like that's just how that comes out.
That would be our typing. We're electric.
Oh my God. Are we the electric avatar? Is that
Apparently we lightning bending up in here.
Oh Lord. Our first Pokemon
Fire Nation.
is Stare.
But it's like seeing Miles Morales get his own game, it was like, holy crap. Marvel knows what they're doing. Like,
I'm a little disappointed though. I will admit. I'm a little disappointed because it's a mini game. It's not
right.
That's kind of in my opinion, my personal opinion, that's a little bit of a slight. Why this man got to get a mini game? Like, come on, man. Like that's to me personally. I know everybody loves Miles. I love Miles.
Yeah.
I love Miles to death. That's why I really wanted, like, if you're gonna give how many hours for Spider-Man? You said 20, right?
More than 20.
Yeah, it's more than 20, but
it's way more
story,
than 20.
The main story is 20.
Main story is 20.
But it literally keeps going.
So if you can give him 20 hours, you can make 20 hours out of Miles Morales. Miles Morales' whole background, his whole story, everything is intriguing. Like you're crazy. Like that's the only thing that made me upset. I'm still gonna play it.
No, you're fine.
Not stupid.
What I was expecting them to do, honestly, once they showed him, he showed Peter that he had his powers at the end of the other game, but not spoiling anything.
You did for me, but it's okay.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I'm going to wait for it on PS5 and just get the more crispier edition.
Don't keep going. Go ahead.
Okay. Like when that happened, I was like, okay, so in the next game, I can expect to see what they did with Peter Parker and Mary Jane, where you're kind of like switching between these characters, and Miles will have some story parts that are like you're playing as Miles. That's what I was expecting. And then that would evolve into his own game eventually. But they jumped out with the mini game, and I was like, I mean, that's cool too.
Yeah,
y'all know you're gonna have to make a full game though, because this thing's gonna sell out, and Marvel's gonna look at that money and be like, DLC, anybody? DLC?
Yep.
Exactly. So even if the game is like 10 hours, it's going to be 10 hours of Miles, which is going to be fun, which we're going to enjoy. And it's going to be a testing ground for Insomniac to kind of play with Miles, his powers, and how they're going to have to figure out how to make those two characters different in the next game, but both of them playable and like interchange their stories. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to accept that it's not going to be like a full-blown, total adventure, but it's continuing the story of Spider-Man PS4.
But I do see what you mean, though. I see the slight. I feel it. I do feel it. It's there.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a slight, man.
Put it aside. It's like, it's here. We'll just set it here for now, though. Okay?
Right. Well,
I'll wait.
It's almost like the game has something to prove, right? Like, because I can't really think of a game in that capacity that features a black lead, so it's almost like, okay, well, we'll give you this little bit. It's not a full-fledged project. We're not going to invest in a full-fledged project, but we'll give you this little slice, and depending on how that does, it might change the course of
develop into something
kind of like how Black Panther did. Like Black Panther came out and made $1 billion, and now all of a sudden you saw like these shows have getting diversity.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden diversity started popping up out the window.
How much Black Panther just like seeped into everyone's membranes. It is when you actually start paying attention, it's like Overwatch.
You're making Sam smile right now by talking about Black Panther right now.
No.
But seriously, even Overwatch has this city where Doomfist is from. And I saw it for the first time. Like, I never really saw it. Saw it for the first time. I was like, y'all, that's motherfucking Wakanda.
Oh, so they put him. I gotta see it. I gotta see it now.
Like,
I gotta see it.
They basically gave him a vibranium arm.
Yeah, the big old fist. The Neiman Cestus, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hell, one of the characters, my first now hardest cosplay I ever made, Imani. Oh my gosh, she has these long dreads, right? And that was her distinctive feature. They gave her a bald head skin, and I was like, y'all ain't do that for no reason. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then she literally says guns, how primitive in the game. Like, I wonder where y'all got that from. She has an African accent. Like,
wait, what character is this?
Amani from Paladins.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me go to that shit right now. Hold on. What? Anybody need to download that.
Yeah, that's the
I have Paladins. I just never, bought any new characters like that, or bought any skins or anything.
The only reason Paladins is on my PlayStation right now is because of Amani. She came out. I was like, I'm cosplaying her. Let's get the game, and then we got hooked. The only shooter I own.
Nice.
Paladins is fun. I ain't gonna lie. I got hooked on Paladins for a hot minute.
Yeah, I like it. It. It's like
Rio don't like that though, because it's only military shooters for him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Rio, we were supposed to be buddies, man.
I play Overwatch.
I mean, it's not as good though.
I was heavy on. I haven't tried Paladins. I can't even front. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and be like, yeah, Paladins. So.
Now, is that the character you cosplayed as at Katsu?
Yup.
Okay.
The big crazy
I'm over trying to download this goddamn character right now.
I love it. That's one of my favorite cosplays of yours.
I love her so much. She's just so wonderful. And you know what I love most about her too? The character, the people who designed her gave her one of those auntie bodies. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. One of those full woman bodies. One of those thick in all the right places bodies.
Yeah, I like those bodies.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at her character design trying to see, like, okay, where does this piece go? Where does this piece go?
Mm-hmm.
I turned that girl to the side and I was like, do I have to
find this girl right now?
I might have to do squats to fit this character. Oh my God. Like, y'all, she built.
Okay.
They were like thinking of black women when they made this black woman.
They were inspired. Inspired by.
Yes.
Yep. To the hair and all that.
All of that. They were just like, what? And it's funny, they have a black woman in there already, but she doesn't even touch Imani. It's like they put their whole foot in that girl. Like, they were not playing around.
You can't do that to me. Don't tell me that.
Listen, man, you about to spend that money and be happy. I promise you.
Fuck yeah, I'm about to spend $20 right now.
So what's the game that's not leaving your console right now?
None of them. I can't let go of any of my games. Like, when I run out of space, I sit there and I'm like, all right, which one did you finish the longest time ago?
Oh,
can you let it go? No, because you might replay it. Don't do it. Oh.
Can't do
that. And when I buy my games, y'all, I run them into the ground, all right? Especially if it's a good RPG, I will replay, like Persona 5, Persona 4 and 5, both of them. I played them things and got every single woman I wanted. When I tell you, I played multiple times, over and over again. I can't let them go. There are people in my life now. I can't.
God damn, Amani got some cakes, man. You wasn't playing.
You seeing that, right? If you can, click her and then go into her. They let you see all her costumes. If you go into her bald head skin.
I'll do it later.
You seriously?
Oh yeah.
Funny.
Oh shit. Okay, all right. Okay,
you got some skins, man. Like,
where the bald head one at?
Should be red and gold.
I could totally see that, Alex. Wow.
That one. There it is.
God.
Bam.
Damn. All right. Hi, everybody. Everybody gets one. Got some cakes in the back.
Since you played Bayonetta, do you wish that they did a Devil May Cry and Bayonetta like crossover?
That would be nuts. I have thought about this. Okay, there is not a single nerd on the planet who knows both these characters exist and have not wanted them to just meet and like make a baby. You know what I mean? Like, I need to see what their child would end up being. Okay.
He'd shoot his way out the womb.
Ooh.
Stylish.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Trickster.
You know what I mean? Like I would love one. I know we're getting these new consoles and it's 2020 technology, but I don't think our technology is ready, okay, for the amount of fabulousness and energy and hype that game would create. All right, I'm not ready. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not ready. I would love it.
I mean,
but I'm not ready.
They did that with Devil May Cry 3, and that was like the most popular Devil May Cry game out there. For me, that's like
yeah. I'm about to say for you.
For me.
For me, I love 4 because I love Nero. That's my guy.
Oh my gosh,
crybaby.
I don't care. I don't care. I need to go buy it. I need to buy it.
Yeah, 5 is really
Nero's
good.
back in 5, right?
Yes, all of them are in 5.
Both of them are in 5, and they're old. And
I'm gonna go play with Nero.
They're all old and gray and scruffy.
Oh, yeah. Like Sam.
I mean, Dante is.
Wow. Poor
Dante is, but Nero. I mean, he was kind of stuck in that dimension for a while.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. But
no. I wasn't expecting to laugh this much, so now I'm sweating.
That's what's up, yo.
So, all right, I got another one. Maybe this one will lead into something else. So 2020 is kind of a bust. So your plans that you probably had for this year are gonna have to roll over into next year, right? So, like during this time, I know you've probably been gaming a lot. But have you also been working on like extra builds that that you'll be able to present next year, or
I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of plans, and the biggest issue was when everything shut down. It was like, how you gonna pay for all these builds, Creep?
Yeah,
because I'm fortunate now that I got a job back that doesn't require people interaction. Like I'm good. And, Georgia opened back up because we do what we want. We don't care what, is going on. Georgia's thugging it out here. But, oh my gosh. Like, okay. I keep saying this because I want to put it out in the world because when it happens, it's going to be so satisfying. This one cosplay I have been trying to do forever now is Master Raven from Tekken.
Yes! That's my favorite Tekken character.
Ooh, that girl bad.
Please do.
That girl is bad, man. I want to cosplay her so fucking bad. Her, I have like 5 million others, but as far as like big builds that are like things that I'm like, okay, this is what needs my attention. Master Raven is definitely on there. Ooh, and Twins Hell from ARMS, Nintendo's ARMS. The game is trash. I'm not even gonna get it.
Oh yeah, I gotta already tell that shit was trash.
But Twins Hell though, like, you want to talk about, like, I want to one day cosplay all these girls who are just bad for no reason. Like, what? Twins Hell, I don't know if y'all have seen her, but she's just boom by the blow, and she's got her hair, and she's all like, yeah, and it's like, Nintendo.
I like the boom like a blow. Okay.
All right. Martial arts in her body. She is
God damn.
Did you look her up?
I'm about to right now.
Do it!
Want to go big buy my Nintendo Switch?
Screensaver, I'm telling you.
And you already did
that girl. So. Oh, Minot. I actually need to remake Minot. I need to remake her.
I could see that. I could see you doing a little upgrade to it. But that Master Raven is going. I'm so excited for that Master Raven.
Listen.
That's going to be killer.
Listen. Okay. She is like, I want to do her so bad. You found that picture, man? You got her picture?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So
are you going to do the classic skin, or she got like a white skin? She got multiple skins.
Master Raven?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna do her classic one, her regular one, because I want to take that to costume contests.
True.
Because it's a lot of intricacies and stuff, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do that much, might as well try and get something else out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
thanks.
Because, man, I love that girl. She's so cool.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Here's my last question for you. So, back in the PS3 and 360 days, we got a shit ton of games. It was probably the second best generation next to the PS2 generation. Mm-hmm. So what game franchise do you want to come back for this console generation that's been gone from PS4 and Xbox One generation? Which game franchise do you want to come back? Don't matter if it's a remake or anything like that. As long as it comes back.
How come you never asked me this question?
Because you hate anything. You hate anything.
Come on. Because you know my answer would be.
I like them cakes coming out, just floating right there.
Wow, Alex.
I'm thinking I'm gonna leave this up as my background from now on.
Wow.
Sir, I think you actually have me stumped. You know how many games came out? You know how much?
I know that generation was crazy.
And you're like, oh, pick one that you like to pick.
Oh, I already got my answer for the one I want back.
Yes, please tell me.
No, that's why I was asking you first. No, you're a special guest.
Sir. Okay, my brain does this thing, right? Where if I do not have an answer, it is a pure, there is nothing in my head.
Okay, I got you.
Like, people think I'm exaggerating. No, there is air going in one ear, out the other. And that's because it tried, and it stopped, and it broke. Like,
all right, I'll start off, and then I'll go around the room so you have some time to reset.
Good luck.
Okay, so I think like when you mentioned how what game was that you stayed inside for 3 days?
Oh, Monokemia.
Okay, all right. You stayed inside for 3 days playing that. You know what you just reminded me of? You reminded me of when Mass Effect came out. I stayed in my room for a week. Like literally, you had to. I'm taking food. I'm only leaving for bathroom breaks. All right, and to get food. That is it. I do not leave the house. I do not drive anywhere. I need to complete my missions. I need to get my relationships. You know, I need to go save. I need to save the galaxy. I would not leave. And then when Mass Effect 2 came out, I grew a beard. All right. And then when Mass Effect 3 came out, I got these little grays up under here. That's when, and I never left my house. All right. So I need Mass Effect. Please bring Mass Effect back.
I can give you that.
I need it. I don't care if it's a remake. Just bring it back. All 3 games.
All 3?
I need all 3 and a collector's edition.
And like a bundle.
You don't understand? I've played that game over so many times. It's ridiculous. I found the way to get into every single relationship you can in the game in one go. I was a hoe. I smashed everybody.
No. Because that just reminded me of what my answer is. Holy flipping crap. But you know what? I like going around the room. You know, Chris talked enough. Let's go around the room.
All right. Who wants to go?
All right, I'm going next.
Okay.
So I'm going to take it way back. So
How old are you, Rio?
I've got multiple answers. So one of them's already came out, and I haven't even played it yet because I haven't heard enough good things about it yet, which is Streets of Rage 4.
That came out?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I got to check it out.
Yeah. But the other 2 that I would like to, one of them is a combination of 2 franchises, and the other one is just a forgotten in time lost game. But it's kind of like a platformer, so you guys will probably appreciate it. So the other one is Battletoads and Double Dragon. Yes, I want both of those to come back so hard. It doesn't even have to be a platformer. It could be like a Devil May Cry style, like action adventure.
It's got to be a platformer, man.
Yeah, it can't be that style, man.
It can't do that because it'll be too easy. It'll be too easy. A platformer.
You think it'll be too easy at that point?
It needs to be a side-scrolling platformer, so the difficulty level will be out the roof. That's what you need.
Hey, Rio.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I like you, man.
We agree on a lot of things.
We agree. Battletoads will give me all kinds of anxiety, but I
can't play that shit no more, man.
Yeah, no. That's just stress in a bucket. Like, I can't do that.
Why aren't you playing it no more, Alex?
Nah, man, fuck that game, man.
Oh my God.
All right, so here's the other one. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I don't know why I want this game to come back. I just think the concept is so funny that it would actually work into like today's day and age. Toe Jam and Earl.
Wow.
I told you, Rio's from the 90s. Like he's a military agent from the 90s. He got caught in the time warp and he came to the present day.
Yo, Rio, let me tell you what you just did to me, man. Okay. There was one time hanging out with Usual Rangers,
and 2 of them are older than me by like 4 years, and they mentioned Reboot.
Oh shit! Reboot. Here we go with Reboot again.
Let's talk about Reboot.
Reboot has been on this podcast. How many times now? 5, 6,
at least 5 or 6.
Yes.
And what's funny is I thoroughly remember Reboot. Okay, it's there, but for some reason in that moment, it wasn't coming to the forefront of my mind. I was like, why can't I remember this? So they keep talking. I look it up. I see a picture of Dot Matrix, and you know what it looks like when Raven and That's a Raven gets a vision, and it's like. When it's suddenly like, oh, you see everything clearly.
Oh my God! You're explaining what happened to me at
you
Blur.
Said Toe Jam and Earl, sir.
Oh.
Wow.
Now you see, you got Sam laughing. The same thing happened to me with Reboot when this girl, she's like, you don't know who that is? You don't know who that is? I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. He's like
that's
Reboot. And I was like, what? Huh? Pulled it up, Googled it. Oh shit!
Yes! Look forward to that show. I used to love that show.
Yo, ditto.
It was like one of those shows that really grew on me. Where at first I didn't pay that much. I just watched it because it was on. You know, and it came on. I think it came on after Sailor Moon and like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. So it was like right after the anime they would show Reboot, and I just watch it. But then like as you actually paid attention to the series and the development of the characters, you really do fall in love with the show. So that was like, I was like, okay.
For me, it came on after.
You don't realize how ugly it is. Like,
you're
watching it.
Because it was good.
When I look back on it, it's really hard to watch now. Like, I can't watch it now.
Yeah.
It's hard on the eyes. But it was really advanced for its time. So you're like, okay, yeah, this show, that plot kept you looking at them ugly ass blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And Beast Wars. Don't forget Beast Wars. Don't do that.
Oh my God, Beast Wars.
Yeah, Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Oh God. Here we go. Don't get Alex hyped up.
Yeah, he always gonna find a reason for Beast Wars to enter the
podcast. See, because I didn't have cable because I was poor. So Reboot came on, and then Beast Wars came on for me. So those came on back to back for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reboot. Only $99.99. That's my man. Always trying to sell some shit.
We all got one of those.
Yes. But yeah, I piggybacking off of what Rio asked, I kind of wanted to like get a temperature from you, not to like be a Debbie Downer or anything, but like what's the climate like with everything going on between COVID and then, of course, the racial tension that's happening? Like, what's it looking like in Savannah? We've seen like Atlanta's kind of been taking a huge, Atlanta's been kind of one of those cities that's in like the forefront of what's going on. But what does Savannah look like?
Have you guys, like, we've all been in high school. You know how when you're in class and someone messages you or someone tells you, hey, 4th period lunch had a food fight. You're like, I missed it. I'm in the same literal building and I missed it. I'm in school, I'm in class, and there's a food fight down the hall in the cafeteria and I have no idea what's going on. That's literally what it feels like being in Savannah compared to Atlanta. Savannah's a very cute little quaint teacup town, as I like to call it. And we keep our racism coverts.
Oh, right? It's one of those.
Our rich people are over here and they mingle, they intermingle. We all go to the Walmarts together. But we don't speak. It's not a thing here. We have people wearing masks and we have people not wearing masks because, you're in a small town. So, of course, the numbers aren't going to be as dramatic as Atlanta or any big city. Mm-hmm. But, you would think the fact that we still have numbers would be a thing enough for people to be like, let me at least wear a mask. There are numbers here. It's not like we have no cases, right? Mm-hmm. People are going to the beach. We've had protests, very peaceful ones. Governor Kemp sent down some National Guard people to watch us when we had our protests, which was the dumbest thing ever because they're not even paying attention to what time the riots actually start. You know what I mean? They're not paying attention to what sparks the riots. They're just like, riots are happening, so every protest must be a riot. And it's like, that's how y'all look at Black people. It's that easy. You know what I mean? One equals all. And it's really insulting because our protests are very peaceful. We're very it was so crazy because in a small town like this, word gets around a lot easier. So when someone said that there was a rally at 2 p.m. on Sunday, you know, people started spreading the message like, hey, there's a rally. Everyone's joining here. We're going to walk from here to here. It's going to be our little thing. Mm-hmm. And suddenly there was a rumor going around that the guy who started the rally was some random white guy that nobody knows, and none of the leaders, not even our local NAACP organization knew. So people were like, oh God, it's a setup, because, you know, they're setting up Black people all over America. Everybody be careful, don't go. And our mayor, Van Johnson, he was like, y'all, I'ma be there. Don't worry about it. All right. I will be personally at the rally. So if some shit goes down, I'm there to take care of it. And that put everybody's mind at ease, because it's nice to have a mayor that knows better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the protest was really peaceful. He spoke beautifully. It was a great moment. And outside of that, Savannah's really out of the loop. Like, it's almost crazy sometimes to go on social media and see how crazy it is in bigger cities compared to Savannah, because Savannah is just so removed, and the way we handle our racism is just such a thing, you know? Mm-hmm. It kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie, because I really do wish there was more I could do. You know, with COVID going around, it's not like I can travel to the nearest actual rally and protest and safely say that I'm going to be there and hold my sign up. You know, it's still a concern that I could catch it on the way. Right. So I'm kind of like stuck here, and I'm trying to do my best of what I can do from where I am.
Thanks. We're doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah, I agree. Like earlier in the podcast, like you said, you're putting in the effort, and you're putting the video together, and you contacted people, and you're going to help spread message, or, you know, and just let people know that nobody's alone, and that this is going on all over the world and all of that. So, I mean, you're doing what you can from where you're at, and you've got to stay safe yourself, because a lot of people don't understand about COVID is that wearing the mask isn't necessarily you protecting yourself as much as it is you protecting the people around you, because nobody knows if they're a carrier. You know what I mean? Exactly. Until you go and get checked. Like, and people, I don't understand why that doesn't click with a lot of people. Maybe they're not listening. Maybe they don't care, you know, whatever it is. But regardless, we answered those questions. So
it's annoying. It really is annoying, because it's like Americans just don't like to be told what to do. That's all it comes down to. It's just a whole bratty bitch.
And particularly white Americans like to, just to be frank, you know.
Say what?
I said particularly white Americans, I think, just to be frank. I mean, I know it's an American thing too, but I think it's also like levels to this.
There definitely are, because it's like one of my friends made this post. I will not take credit for this genius, but he said it was fine for me to at least share it. He said the thing that racism and COVID have in common is that no one feels that they exist until they attack them personally, until it hits them personally. Mm-hmm. And I was like, God dang it. Like, it sucks that something like that is so true. Because I have Black people on my thing talking about how, oh yeah, no, COVID, y'all look silly with these masks on. Girl, you know the healthcare system is against us, right? Why are you playing around with this?
You know what? Now that you mentioned that, you just made me think of something. COVID might be the most inclusive thing on this planet. It's not racist. It'll kill every single one of you guys. Why can't America be more like COVID? Be inclusive.
Wow, Alex.
I mean,
You ain't wrong.
I ain't wrong. COVID's inclusive.
I mean, it's not like we haven't had any pandemics that, you know, were also indiscriminate.
Spanish flu.
They were trying to kill. Yes, exactly.
Black plague. It was very discriminatory. It went straight for the white people.
Black plague was like we discriminate against people who don't take showers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like particularly.
What? Am I wrong? I'm not lying. That's where it went.
Have running water, but still.
But like, it's really annoying how people are acting like it's not a thing, though. Mm-hmm. And what always bothers me is that how much evidence do you really need to believe that something is actually happening? You know what I mean? I feel like people are genuinely fighting against facts. Like genuinely, they don't want to believe the facts so badly because they want to do what they want to do. And I'm sitting here like, it shouldn't take that much to convince you that this is dangerous. This is going on. How many articles do you need? How many, like, okay, was it Ahmaud Arbery? There's so many stories, guys, going around that it's really, sometimes it's really hard for me to keep these stories straight, okay? Because I get emotional and the stories mix. Ahmaud Arbery was the one who was jogging, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I had a friend. This friend, you know, she supports me. She loves me. She's always like sharing my stuff. White, okay. She shared a video of this guy who always does this. You know, he likes to state the facts and let's look at the facts and the facts of this or this. Black guy. And she shared that and she was like, there are other sides to the story. You can't just take one side of the story and then just paint this guy as an innocent victim. And I'm like, I'm so tired of that narrative. You know what I mean? The fact that people are out here believing if he wasn't a saint, he deserved to die. It's like, that's not how that equates. That's not how that works in any way, shape, or form. I don't give a god dang what he did in his past. It is not a police officer's job to kill. It is not a random white person in a truck's job to take a shotgun out and shoot somebody. That is no one's job. No one's job on this planet is to kill unless they are the guy whose job on his name tag says death penalty man. All right, that has to be your title. And the fact that we have people out here who are arguing against COVID, even though the death rate is stupid high.
Redonkulous.
Like, redonkulous. It's like, do we have to put COVID on your sofa? Do we have to get a guy dressed in a COVID virus suit to visit people's homes and sit on your sofa and wish you a good morning? Is that what we got to do? We ought to take this seriously? Does the next person that has to be shot have to be me, the likable black friend? Like, that's what it feels like it has to get to. That's the point that it has to get to where your black friends, the black person that you invited to your wedding, the black guy that you joke around with at work, they have to be shot in order for people to care. And I'm like, at a certain point, it's got to be over. At a certain point, it shouldn't take that much, okay? And if you're still arguing about it, you got to look deep in yourself and understand you are a racist son bitch to sit here and see these things and be like, there's another side to the story. Oh, well, if he had just listened, this wouldn't have happened. Where does any of that warrant death? That's the kind of the things that get me. You know what I mean? How stubborn people are being right now about all of this.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And the guy in the video that you're talking, the black guy who's in the video that your friend watched, I watched that same guy, not because I like him, but because just like
you want
to
hear what's
Alex,
happening on the other side.
I actually listened to Republican radio on my way to work to know what their narrative is. So that way when I argue with Republicans, I already know what their narrative is going to be. And I've already got something to argue with. It's lawyer tactics. Anyway.
That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yes.
But I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, your friend posts. What's that?
No.
Yeah, your friend posting that video was just that guy. The points that he's trying to make, yes, they're facts, but they're well, I can't even say that they're half facts. They're facts, but there's no soul. There's no soul to them. Like there's no. He's just, and he's a former police officer as well. So I'm gonna say definitely that he's biased in that way.
Oh yes, definitely.
But like as I was sitting there watching that specific video that you're talking about, I don't even think I could finish it because it just got to a point where I was like, this guy is speaking so hard for this narrative that I can't even believe that he could be this soulless.
Yeah, it's a waste of time listening to it.
Yeah, so
really
I didn't even finish it. But off of that, what were you gonna say, Cece?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think it's so important. I think this is one of the reasons why, or so symbolic of why it's so important to keep making room for these types of conversations, because we're not like you can't just turn off your blackness and be a cosplayer, you know, and or just turn it off and be a photographer or a web designer or, you know, whatever it is you do. Like you always, we're literally always in this skin. So it's important to like talk about, you know, how these issues affect us as well as celebrate our culture within and outside of the community. So,
because what kills me about those videos where they're like, oh, these are the facts, and if you're arguing facts, you're arguing with emotions, and emotions are not logical. I'm like, bull fucking shit, all right? And the reason why that irritates me so much is because they state a fact, and they never go into the why this is a fact. Mm-hmm. Oh, Black men are incarcerated more. Why? Ever thought to think, why? Oh, this is a fact. Maybe we should look into the history as to what made this a fact. I'm not about to argue with you about the fact. Oh, Black people kill Black people more often? Why? Mm-hmm. You just want to state that fact and leave it alone and leave it be and think that that's your ticket out of there. And it's like, no, because if you're going to talk about facts, let's talk about historical facts that led up to that stupid bullshit ass fact that you were pushing your narrative behind. Like back when with Trayvon Martin, this guy I did a shoot with for SCAD. I didn't hit the unfriend button enough. I did not hit it fast enough. I was very upset with myself that it took me so long to hit that unfriend button because he shared this video of this gay guy. Both of them are gay. This is what kills me. Okay, both of them are gay. Marginalized men, white men, but still marginalized community.
A marginalized group, yeah.
Talking about how Black on Black crime should be a bigger issue. You know, they shouldn't be worrying about police brutality because Black on Black crime exists. I'm like, considering that white men between the ages of like 25 to 40 or some shit like that are like known serial killers, known serial rapists, do you guys really want to talk about statistics as far as like who's doing what more? But
yeah,
no,
I hate that argument.
Do that. Say what?
I hate that argument about Black people killing Black people because I'm like, nigga, we live right next to each other. What the fuck? Like, if you live next to a white dude, the white dudes are going to kill each other. If you live next to a bunch of Asian people, they're going to kill each other. If you live next to a bunch of Spanish people, they're going to kill each other. Eventually, tensions will rise and they will attack each other. That doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I'm specifically going to target Sam because he's Black or Nigerian or whatever he is, you know?
That doesn't matter.
And it's not really exactly like something to be proud of. Like, yeah, we killed.
Yeah, it's not something to be proud of. It's just that
it's murders than you. Like, you know, it's 85. First of all, 85% of white people kill other white people. Don't get me on my whole diatribe. But then it's like, you know, when it comes to interracial violent crimes, we pale in
That is so rare.
Yeah, like you don't really see a lot of Black people doing hate crimes on white people. Like there might be crimes based on like trans people. We're seeing that a lot. And, you know, people based on
because we have our own closed-minded group within ourselves.
Right. And and that's another thing too. I wanted to get into whether or not you saw Dave Chappelle's 846, because in 846 he also talks about how there were several like maybe 3 or 4 former police officers or former military, all Black, all former military, who essentially like wrote, you know, either wrote a manifesto or something, and they retaliated against the police. So, you know, those are kind of like the only instances where you really see it happening. But I think that's a great way to like segue into 846. And, you know, what are your thoughts on that? Of course, I know we could have a whole other conversation about Dave Chappelle and how complicated of a figurehead he is, especially when it comes to, you know, LGBTQ issues. But, you know, all in all, what are your thoughts on it?
Going back to when I first went to an HBCU, and I mentioned that there was this weight off of my shoulders, like, oh, okay, I'm around my people. Cool. You know, Black people have this thing, and it's becoming a trend to joke about, you know, like I saw this thing on TikTok where this girl and a couple of people duetted it, and they were like, hey, okay, on the count of 3, Black people make that face that you make when something don't make sense. 1, 2, 3, and everyone made the same face because that's our, you know what I mean? There are things and moments like that Black people experience because that is within our culture. That is what we have developed as our own thing. Like, I have a friend who's married to a white woman
And she was completely unaware of the things that Black people did when white people were white people. And he actually had to let her know, hey, next time you see some white people doing some stuff, take a second and look at the nearest Black people. They're whispering, they're talking to each other. She's like, no, y'all not. Watch. Lo and behold. So when I was watching Dave Chappelle's stand-up, it was so raw and gritty and real, you know? And I was sitting here like, why is that hitting me so hard? This isn't different from Dave Chappelle. I've seen several of Dave Chappelle's stand-up, completely uncensored. You know, this shouldn't be hitting me as hard as it is, even though the subject matter is that deep and intense. What it was a Black man voicing his unbridled rage. And that is not something you get, period. Okay, it doesn't matter how many people speak, no matter how many people have megaphones at rallies and whatnot. What Dave Chappelle did in that stand-up was personal, it was angry, and it was real. He was not worried about who was in the audience. He could give a damn about who watched the stand-up. He could give a damn about where the stand-up could go after that night. He was finally in a position where he was like, I gotta speak. And that is the kind of realness, that is the kind of grit that Black people don't get to express. Whenever we're arguing with someone online, we don't get to use words like, fuck you, nigga. We don't get to say that. Because then our argument is discredited as just anger, as just emotion. We don't get to talk like that. That is how we feel. What Dave Chappelle said is how all of us feel. But we don't get to express that because then we're just angry Black people. And suddenly we were allowed to get killed. Suddenly we're allowed to get maimed and mauled and beat up. Suddenly, no matter what happens to us, it's justified because we were angry and retaliated. Dave Chappelle, that I call it stand-up. It was not stand-up. But that entire speech, let's call it a speech, it was needed. And anyone who watched it felt it because they were like, God dang it, I've been wanting to say this, but I can only say it to my people. But this is the language I want to give to every white person out there saying all lives matter. This is the language I want to use against every Republican who's like, Trump is Christian. That is the language I want to use against you because this is rage that has been passed down for generations. And we're sick of it. That's why it was such a great thing for me to watch. And I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you got kids who are just going to middle school. They need to watch that stand-up. They need to watch that speech because they need to know it's okay to feel this rage. And it's getting old that Black people aren't allowed to be angry.
Yeah, like that's the crazy thing about it is like you just kind of saw a fed up Dave Chappelle and this is the post like Comedy Central Dave Chappelle. Like this Dave Chappelle's been through some shit, right?
So old.
Personally and like systemically. So it's kind of like you said, it was really raw. And I also think it was very symbolic and also interesting that because of the pandemic, he basically got to handpick who was in his audience. So he really got to be like raw and uncut because he knew who he was talking to. Nobody was going to throw nothing at him, because he was inviting people who he had a rapport, if not was close to. So I think that it was really just a real like intimate, you got to see a side of him. Even for Dave Chappelle, like you said, it's like a side of him that we never got to see before, where he's just sitting here talking with a group of his friends and just like venting about how, pissed he is at the situation. So that was kind of refreshing for him to use his platform. Yeah.
It was very much needed.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Gentlemen.
Yeah, so apparently, most comedians, the reason why I was so raw is because most comedians, before they do a special, they go around, they tour around, and they try out jokes on people just to see what will happen. So you notice that he had that book in his hand. That book is filled with a bunch of jokes written down in it.
Yeah.
But as you're watching it, you look at him go through the jokes, but then he's like, man, fuck this joke. And then he goes off and he starts talking, talking some real shit. And then he's like, all right, let me try to jump back in here and tell a joke. And he's like, man, they don't fuck this joke too. You mother, and he just couldn't take it no more. You could tell, like, he's just trying to have a good time, and then he's like, all right, man, this shit is pissing me off. I can't take this shit no more. And he just starts going off.
4 jokes.
Yeah, 4 or less. Like,
4 joke-like sentences. Yeah, they weren't even like full jokes. Like,
I think he got 1 joke off from that book. He might have got like 1 or 2 full jokes off, and then it was like, maybe, ha ha.
Like, and then he was like, but seriously, yeah.
Right. It wasn't really so much of a joke as it was like a satirical stab at the issue and the root of the problem. So.
And if I had to say anything, there was one thing I did disagree with him about. When he was saying that we don't necessarily look for celebrities in these moments. I don't think celebrities and people really understand why we look for celebrities in moments like this. I don't think either party knows what we're looking for from celebrities. And what we're looking for is money. Like it sounds so shallow to say, but think about it. Imagine if Oprah, Beyonce, Jay-Z, all those big name, big people who have the money coming in, whether they're awake or asleep, were to see that tear gas is consistently being used on people who are peacefully protesting, right? They see that and they're like, okay, when's the next protest? Gas masks for everybody involved. What if there was a station at every protest where they were passing out gas masks to these people, saying, hey, give me your, I think I saw a post where they were like, hey, instead of taking like paper signs, take like plywood so you can protect yourself against batons and whatever they throw at you. What if the celebrities were like, hey, here's a whole bunch of plywood and stuff to put your signs on? What if instead of just being like, we stand with you and, Black Lives Matter, what if you guys actually contributed to the riots in ways that we need, in ways that the average human cannot afford? The average human can't just go out and buy gas masks. Like, they can, but most aren't going to think that way. But you as a celebrity who is seeing this stuff, you have the money in abundance to be able to give and to support these people. Go ahead and contribute huge amounts of bottled water. I saw a video where police officers were literally at a rest station. They were tearing up bottles of water and resources. That shit, if that happens, cool. I got a whole truck coming at the end of this protest for these people with water and food for them. That's the kind of support that celebrities should be giving, because you're me. You are me. There is no difference. Okay, it takes one cop to not pay attention to your face and to shoot you dead. You ain't no different. And as sad as that is to say, knowing that, you should be given in those kinds of ways. We don't need a speech from everybody. But those of you guys who are making millions of dollars every night, I need to be seeing some gas masks. I need to be seeing some plywood. I need to be seeing resources given to these people who are out in the streets, who are, the only reason they're able to do this is because of COVID, because they're not working. They have the free time to do this. Support in ways that you have. But that's just me. Don't give me $1 million, but that's just me.
Put your money where your mouth is. I hear you, sis.
That's all it is. Like, it's stressful enough being a regular person, Well,
we know that what lies ahead for you is the best is yet to come, quite frankly. And I'm just so happy to know you, and I'm proud to call you my friend. You're just an amazing person. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow and develop as a cosplayer and all the amazing things you do. You're just awesome.
Love.
I was telling myself you were not going to cry during this podcast, okay? Like, I told myself, and then you're going to go and be nice.
What was I supposed to do?
Shut up.
Good. And make sure you let us know how to help promote your video that you've got coming out too. So that way we can share and spread that around and get as many eyes on it, ears, whatever we can,
I have it set to come out June 15th. That is one of 2 things that I'm doing for Black Lives Matter. A while back, I was reached out to by a magazine, Glass Bowl. They're very new, and they wanted to do a cosplay issue. So I reached out to some cosplayers, and turns out I was reaching out to a lot of cosplayers of color. Like, there might be 2 white people in the whole magazine. And it was such a great thing that I reached out to them. I was like, hey, you know what would really make this magazine, like, more impactful? Because it's already one thing to have a magazine where it's predominantly Black faces. Like, you don't get that with cosplay magazines at all. But what if you guys were to donate some of the proceeds to Black Lives Matter? And they were like, girl, you ain't said nothing but a word. We donating 50%.
Oh, God,
I was
damn.
like, go ahead, man. So tomorrow, the 15th, it is out. It is available. I'll have the link in my bio on Instagram, and I'll be putting out a post on Facebook to let everybody know, A, the magazine's out. Not only are you supporting these cosplayers of color, but you are supporting the donations to Black Lives Matter, because we are all about this right now. Like, if there was ever a time to collaborate and support the cosplayers you know and love, now is the time. And then Friday, Juneteenth, I couldn't have planned this any better if, you know, I went back in time and replanned it, is when the video will be released speaking on Black Lives Matter. I'm super hyped for that. I still have to edit it. But hey, it's coming. So that's 2 things this week that are dropping like it's hot.
That's awesome.
All right.
We'll play the Snoop Dogg song when we get taken down off YouTube.
Right. Better put that fist up high, girl. Tell us how we could follow you and like you and all those wonderful things.
You know, I always forget about this part, right? Like, I literally always forget.
Where we follow, like, and subscribe at.
All right, so it's Brown Suga Outlaw, brown.sugar with no R, sugar.outlaw, sugar.
Not that sugar. Nobody wants sugar.
You'd be surprised how many people want sugar. And I'm like,
nah, they crazy. They tripping.
Right? brown.sugar.outlaw on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter, because it knows I hate it, decided to be difficult. So it's brown_sugar_out.
All right.
And TikTok, if you guys are into TikTok, I do not stress that anybody touch the app. It is a black hole. It will absorb your life and never give it back. So just, I'm on there, same name. Just, if you ain't on there.
Hold on, with the underscores or with the dots?
The dots.
Okay,
the
dots. So we
TikTok
got the full name.
No, I hate it yet.
Okay.
And you're on Facebook, Cree Michelle Rogers, right?
Yeah, you can look it up as Brown Sugar Outlaw too. Facebook just won't let me change the name. Thank you guys so much for having me on here. I didn't know I had so much to vent and talk about. Like, I'm always in my head, so I don't think I have so much to say, but then I say it, I'm like, oh, God dang.
Hey, man, the more content, the better, man. You just gave me some juicy shit to cut up. It's going to take a while, but.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back, for sure. You were a delight.
Don't. If you ever need opinions, I got it. Like, I know that much.
When these consoles drop, we'll have you back.
Yo, ooh, when is this dropping? Because I have a cosplay that I'm working on that I want to use as the cover photo.
So pretty much, okay. We're recording, but this is out now. For all those watching, this is out now. And what you saw before was the second half of the whole, we were talking about, Black Lives Matter and Ahmaud Arbery and all that craziness. The last episode. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh God, I froze.
I was about to say, does everybody see Alex frozen, or is this
I'm
just me?
frozen?
Don't go Super Saiyan on us now.
I'm back. I'm coming back.
You and that camera, yo.
But anyway, socials. Anybody else want to get into socials?
Social security numbers. Now, I'll drop mine.
Okay.
It's going to be Griffin_Studios on Instagram, and it's going to be Rio_Griffin on Twitter. That's RIO_GRIFFIN on Twitter. Holla at me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Oh,
God damn it, what the hell?
You can follow me at SF Design 21. I just followed you.
Graphics.
I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I swear, every time I'm on a podcast, my mom comes in and asks me for something. So, CC the Geek on all platforms. Well, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, don't forget to follow HBCU Con on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes, I'm loving all the enthusiasm.
And yeah, you can follow me at Metro_Tom at on okay, all right. I don't even know my own Instagram and shit. Okay, all right. You can follow me at Metro_Tom on Instagram. And for all the craziness, you can follow me on I'm not giving up my Twitter anymore. I'm gonna get in trouble. Make sure to follow Everybody Gets 01 on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then Rio, you're gonna manage the TikTok. I'm gonna have you doing little dances in your Spider-Man mask.
Y'all play around. That boy will have 1 million followers in a week.
Yes, he will.
Y'all play around.
It'll get deleted.
Shirtless Rio. Here's what we're gonna do: shirtless Rio, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
in boxers.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shirtless Rio during COVID, not so much.
Okay. But I forgot you had to. They put you
I've
down.
been eating everything that I want to eat.
Yeah. No PT.
Wow.
Yeah, no PT.
Okay. But anyway.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, niggas.
Wow.
Nigga. Oh yeah, I didn't even do our nigga quotas. Okay,
I
Rio.
did it for you.
Nigga.
He can't say it. Well, half of them can't say it.
I choose not to, I guess. I don't
can say N-word. That'll be your catchphrase.
Yeah.
N-words.
Right. Oh, that's you mimicking my voice?
Yes.
Wow.
Thanks, Alex.
Any more niggas to go around? No?
Nigga what? Nigga who?
Okay.
Nigga bye.
All right, bye, niggas.